Your number one super station, your number one super dial, your number one super mega dial. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Top of the morning to you. Welcome again to Front Page Review on this dial. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. Check the time, 7:01 a.m. And of course, today is the 17th day in the month of June 2025. I've got several newspapers for you, and I will give you all of the headlines you need this morning. But then, Daily Thrust for headlines, and we'll begin here. Okay? Daily Thrust is going to lead the way this morning. Follow me. Benue killings, perpetrators, not headers, but terrorists. North Central Forum is the one saying this. Benue killings, perpetrators, not headers, but terrorists. North Central Forum. And still as regards killings, Tinubu to visit Benue, hold strategic meetings. Insiders aiding Benue killers, CDS speaking. Still in Benue, David Mark warns of self-defense as Tinubu visits. David Mark warns of self-defense as Tinubu visits. Tinubu declares state policing a necessity, demands constitutional reforms. Tinubu declares state policing a necessity, demands constitutional reforms. PDP crisis. Is Saraki-led committee walking a tightrope? Is a big question here. And of course, Daily Thrust newspaper has got that question. PDP crisis. Is Saraki-led committee walking a tightrope? We'll find out much later. Why Buhari people support Wike is a piece you might want to touch and get to read and find more information there. Defections. Judicial overstretch, gubernatorial exercises undermining our nation. Yeah, defections, judicial overstretch, gubernatorial excesses undermining our nation. To some four more headlines. Lack of empathy. OBI knocks Tinubu for not visiting Benue, and now he's set to visit Benue. CDS arrives scene of latest Benue attacks. Petron kicks against Dangote Refinery's distribution plan. And as regards 2027, pushback as Northeast APC endorses Tinubu and Shetima. Let's move now to the Guardian newspaper. Why tertiary institutions are facing salary crisis? This is a statement by the Accountant General. FIRS opens tax offices on weekends to ease June filling crush. I take that again. FIRS opens tax offices on weekends to ease June filing rush. Exactly. Tinubu signs laws creating new institution in Abia and of course Imo State. Sokoto to negotiate with repentant bandits to end insecurity. That despicable teacher battering incident in Ondo State. And no, man, others finalize new national industrial policy. On petrol, Pengerson accuses government marketers of exploiting customers. And then, Okonkwo tasked Tinubu on electoral reform and of course restructuring. Lagos suspends issuance of planning approvals along Coastal Road. Lagos Assembly summons Uber lag rider, others over unrest. Tanker drivers suspend loading over e-call up fee. And then, Tanzanian varsity honors Adesina as president names highway after him. Tanzanian varsity honors Adesina as president names highway after him. Oyetola cuts island countries for Nigeria's IMO Council election bid. FRS issues directive for weekend operations. Bank forbearance obligations wipe off 108 billion naira from market cap. And then, let's see if I can touch on just two more. Over 5,000 youths orders for Economic Growth Summit. And then, here is the last one. How to engage beyond election. And of course, voting alone won't save your business or career. How to engage beyond elections. Voting alone won't save your business or your career. Okay, let's check up the Sun newspaper. The Sun is next with a couple of headlines still. More headlines, in fact. More outrage over escalating insecurity in Benue is a story that is just coming in right now. More outrage over escalating insecurity in Benue. It's getting too much. Benue can't bleed in silence, says Atiku Abubakar. And then Kalu commissions projects in Zamfara, urges government to support Tinubu's economic reforms. More outrage over escalating security in Benue. Boy 10 kills police inspector and father, injures brother with AK-47. Boy 10 kills police inspector, father, injures brother with AK-47. Faces at yesterday's commissioning of FCT project by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah, you can see the faces there. In fact, the Sun newspaper has got all of those stories, right? Okay, now let's see some other stories. We won't allow insecurity define Plateau. Governor Mutwang is speaking this morning. The 10th Senate and its struggle to shrug off Lake Tag. APC FCT members group secretariat offer defectors hijacking party. And then Tinubu's lethargic approach emboldens killers, says the People's Democratic Party. Nigeria sliding into full-blown dictatorship, according to Bode George. Delta North APC resolves to unite, declare creation of Anioma State. A done deal. Delta North APC resolved to unite and declare creation of Anioma State. According to Senator Ned Nwoko yesterday, he was saying the creation of Anioma State is a done deal. It's done deal. Yeah, they're set to go. Okay, and then let's leave there and visit the Nation newspaper with a couple of headlines here. Activists commiserate with bereaved families in Benue. Activists commiserate with bereaved families in Benue. Governor gets kudos for appointment. Alumni executive pledges support for Alma Mater. Federal government partners internet promoter in creative digital economy. And then FEM unveils pensions remit to simplify contributions. IG, Conference of Speakers clash over creation of state police. Inflation rate drops to 22.97%. Tinubu heads for Benue to galvanize against serial killings. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. And of course, you are on to Front Page Review. Up next, Vanguard newspaper. 2027, reason behind APC Northeast brawl in Gombe over Shetima. Bloodletting, Tinubu shifts Kaduna trip, heads for Benue. Outside Nigeria now, Israel-Iran war, 330,000 flee Tehran. Oil price drops to 4%. Israel-Iran war, 330,000 flee Tehran. Oil price drops to 4%. Okay, back to Nigeria now. Back to Nigeria. Customs denies extortion allegation by U.S. returnee at Lagos Airport. Bode George dismisses claims of PDP collapse in Lagos. According to him, PDP is not collapsing in Lagos. But friends, what do you think? We'll talk about that later. Police crack down on thuggery in Kano, arrests 51 suspects. Trump summons national security team after issuing evacuation warning to Iranians. Trump exits G7 summit early, warns Iranians to evacuate Tehran immediately. Trump exits G7 summit early, warns Iranians to evacuate Tehran immediately. Another flood in Niger submerges bridge, sweeps off culvert. Power outage. Protests erupt in Kwale as youths demand step down of IPP. Employees kill 56-year-old farmer over 900,000 naira in Edo. 2 lawyers, developer in court over alleged land scam in Lekki. 2027, reason behind the APC Northeast brawl in Gombe over Shetima. 2027, what Nigerians should look for before electing leaders. This is a statement by Peter Gregory, OB. I left Tinubu's government to plot his 2027 defeat. Former aide Aliyu Audu declares, I left Tinubu's government to plot his 2027 defeat. Former aide Aliyu Audu is the one speaking here. 2027 APC governors, NAS caucus want retention of Tinubu Shetima ticket. And then as regards 2027, Wike APC scared of opposition coalition. Atiku's aide is the one still speaking here. Tinubu Abbas others push for overhaul of Nigeria's security architecture. Tinubu to visit Benue tomorrow over continued killings. Okay, yeah, it's tomorrow. 753 duplexes. Abuja court admits Emefiele to 2 billion naira bail. Finally. Okay. On Benue massacre, people may be forced to defend themselves. David Mark tells federal government people may be forced to defend themselves. Again, suspected Fulani herdsmen killed over 10 in Ehamufu in Enugu. Again, Fulani herdsmen killed over 10 in Ehamufu, Enugu. Now, wow. Bricklayer bags life imprisonment for defiling minor in toilet. After Mokwa tragedy, fresh flood destroys houses and bridge in Niger State. Church worshippers, construction workers escape death as 2-story building collapses. Benue killers motivated by economic interest, not religion. SGF is the one speaking here. Check your time now, 7:15 a.m. 7:15 is the time. Let's get to Daily Post. Fuel price. Fear grips petroleum product stakeholders as Dangote refinery pushes for monopoly. And this is an exclusive story. Untold story of how herdsmen reduced Benue community to ashes, burnt over 300 alive. There's an exclusive story here, like I said. And of course, Daily Post has got that story. Untold story of how herdsmen reduced Benue community to ashes, burnt over 300 persons alive. And then there is an interview here. Tinubu's 2 years amount to increased hunger, poverty, and insecurity, according to Ijaw leader Asubex. Fresh suit challenges NAS role in reverse emergency rule. Okay. Fresh suit challenges NAS role in reverse emergency rule. List of 127 persons killed in Benue community. There's a list here. That list is containing about 127 persons that were killed in that community. It's a serious one. It's really sad. Moving on to some other national stories, still in Benue now. Killers entered through river, attacked police, military checkpoints first. This is Governor Aliya speaking. Killers entered through river, attacked police, and military checkpoints first. Governor Aliya speaking. And then Governors Forum condemns killing in Benue community. Okay. I will ensure FCT residents see your good works, Wiki assures Tinubu. Army begins multi-agency security training in Taraba. Kano loses 2 ex-local government chairmen in one day. Wow. Why we didn't endorse Shetima with Tinubu, APC clarifies. Why we didn't endorse Shetima with Tinubu, APC clarifies. Zamfara will lose if you don't play politics with Tinubu. Senator Kalu tells Lawal, Zamfara will lose if you don't play politics with Tinubu. Senator Kalu tells Lawal. And then as regards 2027, Abamoro distances self from political coalition. Group criticizes Taraba senator for attending APC meeting during Sunday worship hours. 2027, PDP group seeks Amechi Obi's return to the party. 2027 PDP group seeks Amechi Obi's return to the PDP. We will remove Tinubu in 2027. Ex-presidential aide is the one speaking here. Finally, we go touch Punch newspaper, and then we hear Rufai's analysis today. The Punch newspaper is next. Police arrest 51, recover weapons, drugs in Kano raid. On Benue killings, Labour Party demands probe military deployment. 148,625 retirees get 8.6 billion naira pension arrears, says federal government. 148,625 retirees get 8.6 billion naira pension arrears, according to federal government. IG speakers clash as state police debate intensifies. Power failures spark push for renewable energy. And then as regards Benue bloodbath, CDS, IG launch cross-border manhunt for killers. Israel-Iran crisis, Pengassan kicks as petrol price rises. Gridlock, residents warn violators as Lagos begins e-call-up system. Tinubu undermining Nigeria's democracy, says Bode George. Emefiele gets 2 billion naira bail in 753-unit estate suit. 2027, APC talks tough as pressure mounts over Tinubu's running mate. Punch newspaper here to some more stories. Okay, let me touch on some metro stories for you this morning. Yeah. Nigerian arrested with 1.8 billion naira drug in India, risk 20-year jail term. And then police arrest 14 suspected Benue protest hijackers. Police inspector shot dead by 10-year-old son in Anambra. Bricklayer bags life jail for defiling neighbor's 8-year-old daughter in the toilet. 36-year-old lady accomplice in police net for alleged gun running. 7 killed, 2 missing in fresh herdsmen attack in Enugu State. Worshippers escape death as building collapse on church in Lagos. 2 lawyers, estate developer arraigned for forgery and of course demolition. And then to some political stories now. 2027, only Tinubu can choose his running mate, says APC chief. Only Tinubu can choose his running mate. Only Tinubu can choose. Only him can choose. So it's not about the party coming together to decide who will be Tinubu's running mate in 2027. Only Tinubu will choose. But what is the body language of the president as regards that issue? What is the president's body language? Okay. We'll see about that. We'll see about that shortly. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let me give you some more headlines now. Some more headlines. Yeah. 2027 North Central APC backs Tinubu, reinstates support for Ganduje. Attack on Ganduje at APC Northeast meeting. Shameful. That is the chairman's aide speaking. Attack on Ganduje at APC Northeast meeting. Very shameful. Ex-Tinubu aide vows to oppose president's re-election in 2027. Court rejects federal government request to arrest Natasha over defamation charge. Lawmakers not elected to fight Tinubu or Shiomole defends National Assembly. There is no opposition. APC controls all, says Showore. God sent me to fight cultism, says Okwewolo. And then finally here. Senate pledges electoral reform, constitutional review ahead of 2027. VOP 90.3 FM. At this time, let's join Rufai Oseni for some more. For some analysis. This morning. Okay, everyone, feel free to join the conversation via YouTube. We're streaming right now. Join me on YouTube quickly, everyone, and let's have a beautiful one together. YouTube is VOP 90.3 FM, VOP 90.3 FM, or Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and then get to the comment section. Let's have a beautiful discussion. Don't forget, you can also send a message to me via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. Let's now join Rufai Oseni at this time.
So today there was some development as regards the Natasha Akpabio case in court. Apparently, they had filed another case involving the federal government versus Natasha, and Natasha was not served. She was not aware of it, and the fact that they had planned probably that as a result of this filing, probably she will be arrested. But she was lucky because her lawyer got wind of it, and her lawyer went there, and her lawyer raised objections to it. And because of that, the judges, will not be executing the bench warrant against Natasha Akpoti, Senator Natasha Akpoti. This debacle between Senator Natasha Akpoti and Senator Akpabio still continues, and it's been on for a bit, and the problem still continues, the fight still continues, the state of malaise still continues, and it's just, a real interesting situation as regards the state of play of things in Nigeria. As a result of our talk, President Tinubu has finally said at a launching today of a project in Abuja that he was going to go ahead and go to Benue State. He said he was supposed to go to Kaduna before, but now he's going to go to Benue State, which we think is a welcome development because, you see, when people are in sorrow, when they're in pain, they're in penury, they're mourning, the commander-in-chief is also the chief mourner. He's also the chief celebrator. He's the chief everything to the people. And he must be there for the people as they go through their ordeal and their challenges. And that's all we're calling on President Tinubu to be able to do, because if he's not there, it speaks volumes. And it's a sad one. We are happy that cool heads have prevailed at this point in time. Anyway, President Tinubu has said that he had told the governor to be able to fix the problem there, but the governor said things are not that easy here. In fact, the governor granted an interview and was speaking about the fact that the herders that are coming to Benue to cause mayhem are not the ones that come with cattle. They are the ones that are coming with weapons. to be able to hurt people, to be able to maim people, to be able to destroy the lives and prospects of people. So President Tinubu definitely is going to go there in the course of the week. Let's see how that pans out. It is said that he's going to be holding a town hall meeting. Let's see how that pans out. Because we cannot have a country where people are being killed and where it looks as though we don't even care for their lives, we don't care for their property, and they don't even amount to anything. And in all of this, the Secretary to the Federal Government have been condemned at some point, for not saying anything. But in a statement on Monday issued by Terence Kwano, the Special Advisor on Public Affairs, he condemned the killing as mindless. He expressed optimism that President Tinubu's directives to the services to restore peace in Benue will yield results. Because in all of this Benue debacle too, there's also a talk about the political squabble internally of the APC that could also be a factor in all of this, but it's not a factor. It's just the state of insecurity that pervades here in the country, and we must be able to do something about it. The Defense Chief IGP visited Benue community to assess attacks in the aftermath. You see, we had some guests on our show today that were saying when the Defense Chief first went there, they didn't go to the community where the attacks happened. So I just hope in this regard that this Defense Chief will be going to the community. Kayode Ekwetoko, Inspector General of Police, Christopher Musa, have visited Benue following the attack. So on June 14th, over 100 people were killed in Yelewata and Daudu local government area, Guma, LG area of the state. The death toll from the massacre has reportedly risen to 200 by Sunday, sparking national outrage. But in the statement by Muyiwa Adejobi, the first spokesman, they said that Ekwetoko and Musa were accompanied by senior officers during the visit to assess damages around the area. So we just hope that we know that's a prelude to the president's visit. And we just hope that something will be done as regards the insecurity situation in that area. Because it is sad that people are just being killed, people are maimed, people are
sad one.
People are just destroyed. And the humanitarian crisis is growing. Take, for instance, NEMA is saying about 6,527 persons have been displaced. 2 soldiers were killed in Benue State. And they are saying, more than 1,000 families have been affected in all of this. It is noted that 1,069 households have registered as displaced, including 1,768 females, 759 males, 657 children under the age of 18, and 1,870 adults above 18. NEMA said that some of the vulnerable groups among the displaced include 252 lactating mothers, 82 pregnant women, and 91 elderly persons. The question is, what are we going to be able to do for all of these people? He added that there's an urgent need for food, non-food item, clean water, blood donations, medical supply to support those affected. The recent attack has sparked a lot of troubles out there in the States. We just hope all is done to be able to nip this in the bud. We just hope that when the president goes there, a lot will be done to be able to nip this situation, this insecurity situation in the bud, and this quandary that really destroys the life and prospects of a lot of people. Inflation numbers 22.97, down from 23.71. MBS announced year-on-year inflation rates was 10.98% lower than the rate recorded in 2024, 33%. Furthermore, month-on-month basis for inflation rate was 0.33. This means that inflation in May at the rate of increase price level is lower than the rate of increase in the average level in April. Food inflation rose to 21.14. The statistics firm said that food inflation in May was 21.14 on year-to-year basis. Month-to-month basis, the food inflation rate was 2.1% in the period up by 0.12 compared to April 2022. The increase can be attributed to the rate of decrease in the average price of yam, ogbono, cassava, maize, fresh pepper, sweet potato. The average annual food inflation for 12 months ending May 2025 over the period of 12 months was 29.8%, which was 4.2% lower than the average food cost recorded in May. On the other hand, states like Katsina, 6.9% inflation, Rivers, 9.18, Kwara, 11 recorded the slowest rise in inflation.
Okay.
The Bureaus of Statistics said month-to-month food inflation was highest in Bayelsa, 12.6, Cross River, 11.1, Anambra, 9.1, Katsina, minus 5.4. So we still have a big problem. And see, apart from this Nigeria Bureau of Statistics numbers, when you go to the street and the marketplace, the inflation is no joke. It's a very sad one. And that's why we keep calling on the government. What are they going to do about it? The earlier they do it, the better it is for them. Aliyu Audu, the man that just recently left President Tinubu's government, presidential aide, said he left because he was plotting to remove President Tinubu. The question is it going to be that easy for him now that he's been able to tell the world that he was plotting to remove President Tinubu? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Another story making the rounds is definitely about the Kwara State government investigating as government refunds victims of this Hajj scam. There was a Hajj scam involving the BT of some victims, and the government is refunding victims of the Hajj scam. But the question is, like we've always asked, Nigeria is not a religious country based on the constitution. So should the government be in the middle of, pilgrimage and religious exercises? That's a question we keep asking every time when stories like this come up in the state of play and in the polity.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rufai Hosseini. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you indeed. Everyone, this is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I'm now being joined by a political enthusiast, a political analyst. Yes, of course. Prince Chilaka is here. I wanted to say Prince or Matunde Chilaka, but
I wonder where you're getting the Matunde from.
Good to have you join us in the studio.
Good morning, Judy.
Good morning. Quickly, let's talk. The president is to visit Benue after several, cries and all of that, pleas, and uproar. The president is set to visit Benue to hold strategic meeting. What do you say at this point?
Well, I would say that we didn't need to beg him to visit Benue. It is his responsibility. I had actually expected that the president would have gone to Benue even before now.
Okay.
But you find out that we have a country where you have to beg your leaders to do what they're meant to do. So you needed people to criticize, people to talk, people to shout. It even involved protest before the president would say, "Oh, I need to go to Benue." And then, I asked myself, if you have to go to Benue, what would you be doing that you couldn't call off yesterday, today, and go to Benue? And also, I feel very upset as a Nigerian with the kind of statements that come out from the presidency when issues like this happen. Okay. We're not talking about one, we're not talking about two, we're talking about 200 plus people. Human beings killed, burnt to ashes. And then, the angle at which the presidency is coming, from what Ali has been saying, is more like saying it's an ethnic issue.
Cleansing.
No, it's a communal fight, so to say. But that is not. It is not a communal issue. It goes beyond communal issue. And it also beholds on the National Assembly. We keep asking, what is wrong with our representatives? Why have they found it difficult to completely allow open grazing? If we say that this is a herders, farmers, clash, why don't we nip it in the bud? Why don't we end this whole thing about open grazing? And then at the same time, we ask ourselves, who are the owner of these cows that they always claim to be the reason for this onslaught? Who are the owners? Don't the owners think it is high time for them to go rent or buy a land and build ranches in order to stop this, carnage that we're having in this country?
Some persons will tell you going to Benue is one thing, achieving results is another thing for the president. Like, will the needful be done? Is it about just meetings,
No, but
meeting these people and meeting these
the
people?
issue has gone beyond. Benue people don't need sympathy, to be honest with you. They don't need sympathy. They don't need committees. They don't need. All they need is safety, protection of the lives and properties. Is that it's enshrined in the obnoxious 1999 Constitution that we're using. That is what the people need.
Because according to Bayo Ononuga, he said that the president during his stay will meet with all stakeholders, including traditional rulers, political, religious, community leaders, and youth group to seek lasting solutions to the hostilities. Now,
is he going to meet with the bandits and the terrorists?
That's exactly what
is he going to meet
I'm
with
saying.
the headers? So what is this whole angle of saying you want to meet with the community leaders, you want to meet with the local chiefs, you want to meet? It's simply saying that, it's a communal issue. It is not. So is Mr. President going to meet with the bandits and the headers? Is he going to meet with them? Is he going to appease them? These are people who do not need appeasement. These are people who need force to force. And that is why I have always criticized this idea of saying, people are repentant after they have killed people. These are people who have killed almost 300 Nigerians. And then tomorrow you arrest some people, you say they are repentant, and you rehabilitate and reabsorb them into the society. Is that not a mockery of the entire process? So Mr. President going to Benue to say he's going to hold meetings is not what people of Benue want. It's not the people. While we're talking of Benue, you saw what has happened in Enugu.
Yeah, Mufa, I just wanted to mention that also.
So what is going on? It's either Benue, Enugu, Plateau, Borno. It's just the whole thing is enunciating and annoying. So each time they say, we're going to hold meetings, what are you going to achieve with these meetings? Is the meetings going to stop these people who are letting blood out as if there is no, they have no reason, they don't have human feelings?
They killed 10 people, in Eha Mufu. And according to information from some sources, though, they said, sources from the community disclosed that the killer herdsmen were probably dropped by a helicopter that reportedly flew around the community earlier in the day. That's what they say.
You see, Judy, let me tell you, the way things are going, Nigerians are going to be forced to arm themselves.
You think it
is getting to that? Do you know what it means to kill a father, mother, and the children? It means you've wiped out entire generation. So it means that the people who came to kill, they didn't just come to kill. They came to make sure that nobody would wake up tomorrow to reclaim the land. This is all about, land. When you kill, people have been displaced and they're living in IDP, and you go to the IDP, you kill people living in IDP, what do you want to achieve? You want to make sure that nobody lays claim to the ancestral homes anymore.
Let's talk about the issue of state police here. I don't know why the issue of state police is causing some uproar. I don't know why some people are against state policing.
Well, I think a lot of people who are against state police, we're looking at what is happening with the federal police. The abuse. The way people who believe that they have arrived in Nigeria abuse the federal police. So a lot of people are worried. If, as it is under the federal government, some politicians, some VIPs are abusing the process, what will now happen if you now have state police? But I think also that we must not say because a process is being abused, we refuse to move forward. I think it's high time we begin to look at even local government.
Okay.
We copied our model from America, so we say, but we're not practicing what Americans are practicing. So let us begin to look at a situation where we have, different level of policing, but also have a federal that has an overbearing influence over them. So I am in support of state police because the way things are going, you cannot take somebody from Bono and bring him to Imo State as commissioner of police. He does not understand the terrain, he does not understand the culture and tradition, and he does not understand the language.
Let me mention here that the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has called for an urgent overhaul of Nigeria's security framework through constitutional reform, declaring that the establishment of state police is now a necessity, all right, given the country's deepening security challenges. And what is saying that state policing is a necessity, and of course is demanding constitutional reforms. Now, that is not where I'm going to. Where I'm going to is the fact that the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, and the Conference of Speakers of State House of Assembly, yesterday expressed divergent views on the advocacy for state police creation. Now, here is it. While the police boss reiterated his earlier position that what the Nigerian police force needed to tackle the insecurity challenges in the country was adequate funding, the chairman of the Conference of Speakers of the House of Assembly, Debo, called for a multi-layered policing model as obtained in other parts of the country.
Well, the truth of the say this is this. The IGP knows that if you have state police, it's going to wither down his powers. And it's going to wither down the powers of any...
Is it about him or the nation?
No. It's all about interest. He's already talking about funding. And nobody's asking questions as all the funds they've gotten, before now, who's giving account of it? An IGP that has come out severally to tell us we're going to withdraw policemen from VIPs. We're going to withdraw policemen that are redundant, doing nothing. If you check the number of policemen you see at an open checkpoint like the one you always have at this airport here, you keep asking, is it that they're jobless? We're having crisis all over the country, and you're busy standing in front of the airport and you're mounting a checkpoint. You have policemen who are busy escorting trucks all over the place. You have policemen who have turned guards to a lot of companies. So what is going on? What is the role of the Nigerian Mobile Police? So the police itself, they need to go in-house and think and ask themselves, are we doing the right things? So state policing is a welcome development. The IGP is just talking for himself. He's just talking because he feels that, it's going to wither down my powers. It's going to wither down the amount of money sent to me and all of that. But the nation comes first. The people come first before any individual.
Well, in Sokoto, Sokoto State wants to negotiate with repentant bandits to end insecurity, according to information I'm getting right now. Negotiate with repentant bandits to end insecurity.
I think there was one meeting that went on was over the weekend between wanted bandits, there are Lero or so, and government officials. And I keep asking myself, if somebody is declared wanted and the person comes out in public to negotiate, why don't they arrest the person immediately? What is there? There seems to be a little bit of connivance between the security agencies and these so-called bandits all over the place. How would the Sokoto State government be thinking of negotiating with bandits?
And
when did non-state actors become so effective and stronger than the state actors? So you have Nnamdi Kanu locked away. The keys are thrown away because you said he was, talking about secession and all of that. But you didn't see him wield a gun. You didn't see him wield a knife.
No, they said those of them who are genuinely willing to lay down arms and embrace peace.
Oh my God. You see, it comes back to the issue of this whole thing of integrating and, all your sins are forgiven. You can't go amok killing people and then you come back and you say you have repented. I mean, are we normal in this country? Are we really normal? Are we thinking out of the box in this country? Then if that is the way government wants to operate, why have prisons?
Okay, really?
Yes, why have prisons?
But some will tell you we should welcome any development that would promote peace and security in Nigeria, anyone at all.
No.
That will bring about peace.
You do not negotiate with kidnappers. You do not negotiate with bandits. Except you're making them relevant. You're telling us that they are more powerful than the police and the army. And they made the entire security architecture. So if you are negotiating with them, it means you know them. Jude, you get what I'm saying? You know them. These are people who have been terrorizing your community. It's like saying that, oh, the ones who came to Benue to kill people, you want to sit down and negotiate with them. What is going to be the terms of negotiation?
You know, taking a historical perspective to this, some will tell you all of these, what do we call now? Many conflicts have really not ended, through force. It is through dialogue.
Who are you dialoguing with? That's the question. Have you ever seen somebody dialoguing with a thief? Because we need to understand the parameters for which they want to dialogue. Are you dialoguing that because you feel that the government has not done certain things they should do for them? Are you dialoguing because you feel that, these people are entitled to certain things? These are marauding killers. These are people who have they don't give a hoot about anybody. So when you say you want to negotiate with them, what is the condition of your negotiation? Are we not saying that banditry is welcome in Nigeria? Are we saying that kidnapping has become a way of life? Are we not saying herdsmen carrying the AK-47 and killing people is normal? So when you say you want to negotiate, what are you negotiating? When you talk about negotiating, it's like you have a deal. You have a business transaction. But what are you negotiating for? That's the question that's the question I want to ask. So what is the negotiation going to be?
Okay.
What are going to be the terms of negotiations? So if during the negotiation they tell you, okay, we want the governor to leave his seat as governor, will you accept? Or they tell you, oh, we want our members to be, employed by government as cabinet members, will you accept? So when you say this negotiation, it is annoying, it is irritating to hear that a constitutional government is trying to negotiate with bandits.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's delve into some political issues, some political matters right now. Nigeria is sliding into full-blown dictatorship, but the judges said it. Your comment on that?
You know, my problem with Nigerian politicians is that each time they speak, they're not speaking for the people. They're speaking for themselves. And when you say Nigeria is sliding into dictatorship, who are those who put up this government to us? When all the shenanigans about the elections were going on, where were these people? But then everybody have a right to their own opinion. If you say we're sliding into dictatorship, it simply means that the National Assembly itself and the judiciary are both compromised. And like I said, to a large extent, he is right.
He's right.
Yes, to a large extent.
Okay.
I mean, on June 12th, Mr. President was meant to address Nigerians. He didn't address Nigerians. He addressed the Senate. The Senate is not Nigeria. And to a lot of people who were listening, we're asking, has the national anthem been changed? Because at every point in time, they intone on your mandate to stand. Has that become our national anthem? When adults begin to behave like children, it's like a child crying for cookie. So that's the point. I mean, he has reasons for saying it. But what we see playing out is a pointer to that direction. 200 to 300 people dies. The flag of the nation is not flying at half-mast. The president has not visited the place. And you think that this is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people? No.
And he also mentioned something. Back to Lagos, he said that he dismissed claims of PDP collapsing in Lagos. That PDP is still strong in Lagos.
well,
Is that a political statement
I don't know how
or
strong.
something?
I don't know how strong PDP is, because if at the top level PDP is not
Some would say
strong,
PDP is dead in Lagos. Forget
you
it.
know, well, if in Lagos,
Look at what happened in last election. The local government, you know.
no, they've not done the election yet.
I mean, the what's it called?
primaries.
The primaries.
It's not APC that have done their own, and there has been issues on it. Every party will do their primaries.
See,
But the truth is that we know that when you talk of Lagos now, you're talking more of APC and Labour Party. PDP seems to be sleeping. Until you resolve the problem of PDP.
PDP is sleeping or PDP is dead in Lagos. Which one?
Until you resolve the problem of PDP from the national level, the states can barely do nothing. Because who are they going to take instructions from at the state level?
Wait, do you honestly think any other party can win any position in Lagos from local government or councilorship or anything?
Well,
by hook or crook or snatches, grab it. Do you think any other party can amount to anything in Lagos?
Yes.
Except that candidate is really working, has done his own work.
Let me tell you, if you monitor the primaries of APC, you'll notice that a lot of party members are unhappy. Because what they did, as in their primaries, was more of, consensus candidates and imposition of candidates. So a lot of party members are angry and upset, But the question is, it's not just being angry and upset. Do you have the political will to say, I am dumping APC for another party? So the other parties, their hands are wide open to embrace those who are disenfranchised from APC. But you see, for me, I keep saying, I would rather not welcome anybody from a disenfranchised party or anybody that is disenfranchised to a party, because when they come in and you elect them, they come back to the original, which is what's happening across the entire country now. A lot of people who got elected under the platform of Labour Party, for instance, were not people with Labour Party ideology. These are people who belong formally to APC, and they lost out during the primaries, and they saw a new bride, which was Labour Party, and they got the ticket, and now they're going back. Politicians in Nigeria don't have the staying spirit. It's always about where belief is.
A pro-PDP group, still talking politics, under the edges of Bala agent mandate, has urged former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi and, of course, Peter Obi to return to their political roots in the PDP, in the People's Democratic Party. The group said Amechi and Obi should join forces with Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State to rebuild a strong and united opposition party.
You can't build a strong and united party when those who are killing the party are still in the party. How do you build a united and strong party when you still have Wike wielding so much power in the party? How do you do that? When you know that like Yorubas will say, the cockroach that is eating the F4 is inside the F4. How do you want to rebuild it? Where are you going to start from? If you want the likes of Amechi and Peter Obi to come back to the party, how clean is the party?
So are you saying that these guys...
What you want is the same thing happening in Labour, where everybody's shouting, Peter Obi, go and settle the problem in Labour Party. But people forget that Peter Obi has nothing... He's not one of the persons that should settle the problem in Labour Party. He was a presidential candidate of Labour Party. But the highest standing person in Labour Party today is Alex Otti. He's the highest elected person. So he has more power and authority than Peter Obi himself. And people don't want to. Yes. That's the way parties are structured. If you're talking about the leader of the party today, before the chairman, is Alex Otti. So when people say Peter Obi, because they don't understand. If you know he was a presidential candidate, yes, he was, but he's not. That era has gone. So if you're asking people to come back to a broken home, have you fixed the home? Have you done anything to, add life to what you have?
But when you say this, some persons will be surprised. Peter Obi is the leader.
He is not the leader of the party.
What word do I use now to qualify Peter Obi in Labour Party?
How do you want to qualify him?
But what Kenneth Okonkwo is saying is quite different from what you're saying.
Kenneth Okonkwo is seeking for attention all over the place. That is what Kenneth Okonkwo is seeking for. You can't be all over the place talking about Peter Obi all the time. If you think there's a solution, if you think Peter Obi doesn't have the solution, you, Kenneth Okonkwo, that has been in the party, go and give the solution. Go and resolve it. Go and find out. Peter Obi is not the national party, is not the national chairman of the party. He was just in the 2023 presidential candidate of the party. The man today who has more power in the party is Alex Otti. After Alex Otti, you talk of the senators, you talk of the party chairman. Yes, not a former presidential candidate. The only reason why everybody keep calling Peter Obi is because of, the organic love he controls from people. That's just it. When Bola Tinubu, before he became president, was in the APC, please tell me, what was it called? The office he was given on the national was called the National Leader. Mm-hmm. Was it recognized in the constitution of the party? Was he wielding any powers in the party as at that time? Why do we like to live in denial in this country?
Amechi and Peter will be coming together. Are you saying that these bigwigs should look for a different party? Maybe, excuse me, the ADC or the SDP or somewhere else, not PDP, because you feel that Wike is there. Let's leave PDP. No.
You cannot resolve what is not yet resolved. As it stands today, Wike is the one, some way calling the shots in PDP. Some way. Yes. If you remember what your president said on June 12, and when commissioning one of the projects, he said Wike is yet to join APC. And that when he comes, when he's ready to join, they will sing the song for him. So the question we should be asking ourselves is, why is Wike neither in PDP, neither in APC? What's going on? And like I've always postulated, there's one reason why he hasn't joined APC yet. If he joins APC today, what would be his position? Elder of the party? Obviously, cannot be the national chairman. And how much influence will he wield when he joins the APC? So let him stay in a party where he feels he's wielding a lot of power. And to a lot of people, those powers are destructive. It's like people are already saying, oh, Fubara wants to join APC. But like I said, if Fubara joins APC, in the state, he's the governor, he's going to be the governor. And in the state, that structure everybody has been fighting for will be given to him. So where would you put Wike, who is not a member of the party?
Let's look at the other side of this coin. A special advisor to the president, to Tinubu, special advisor to Tinubu on public affairs, Aliyu Audu, who just left him, has revealed that he resigned from the administration in order to actively campaign against Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. Some people will say, yes, you're doing well. But some other persons are looking inwards and saying, Tinubu, if you won't plant this guy somewhere, say they go call him, come. You know stuff about the president, come. No, so he will just use this guy.
No, I would say even if it's that, a lot of persons today who wants to oust Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, they are thinking out of the box. They're becoming wiser. They're treading with caution because they know the person they're dealing with. If you want to come and work against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you don't really need to make all this noise. You don't really need to make this announcement. people will see it and say, oh, you know,
Okay.
you don't need it.
Okay.
And that's why, you know, immediately I saw the news, it reminds me of Kenneth Okonkwo. You feel that Peter Obi is not the kind of person, politically, is not the kind of man you want. He doesn't have that, you know, tenacity. He doesn't have that. But at every point in time, you are calling his name out. So what does that mean?
He says-
Without Peter Obi, the likes of Kenneth Okonkwo would not have been in the limelight.
He said we will remove Tinubu in 2027. The guy is talking.
Everybody wants to remove Tinubu, but how do you remove him when your own house is not in order? How do you remove him? You just push him aside? I mean, 2027 is going to be, you know, it's going to be total war. That's what I say it's going to be. So those who are plotting to remove him must be ready for the battle ahead. But first of all, they need to find a structure with which they can use as a launch pad. Two, they need to also decide, you know, like I said, everybody in this coalition wants to be a president. People need to make sacrifices. And the man that we expect to make the major sacrifice, which I've said severally, is Atiku.
Mustafa Salihu, you know, who is the party's national APC national vice chairman Northeast, has said only Tinubu can choose his running mate.
Obviously,
as regards these whole issues.
Obviously, the handwriting on the wall is clear that Shettima most likely will not come back as Tinubu's running mate 2027. And for those who understand the way Tinubu plays his politics, when he was governor, how many deputies did he have? You can't change a man overnight. So, yes, that was what happened in Bombay, where they saw them almost wanting to lynch the national chairman of the party. You know. But the truth of the matter is that I personally, from all the things I'm seeing, I do not see Shettima coming back as the vice president candidate to Tinubu 2027. I do not see it.
So probably a Christian is coming in, right?
I don't know who he's going to pick, but
A northern Christian. Or
well,
Christian from the north.
I think also, you know, he's trying to balance it because he knows that a Muslim ticket will not fly again. No matter what you say to people.
They'll tell you anything can happen in Nigeria.
See, right now, Nigerians to a large extent understand that, man, Kaki no be leader. I'm telling you. The hunger, the frustration, you need to be out there. It's not just sitting in the studio or sitting in government house and dictating. No, you need to be out there to understand how things are and how Nigerians are feeling. But then, when we talk about this, I feel, you know, I just laugh at that. And I looked at what happened on June 12th, when some people came out in Benue and were, you know, carrying placard, oh, Governor Leah has done this, by President Bola Tinubu. In less than how many hours, what happened in Benue? Don't forget also that, because we can't leave what has happened in Benue when we talk about politics. Reverend Father Hesent earlier, the governor, had said that Wednesday last week, he was going to release names of those who he said from Abuja are causing problem in the state. We haven't seen the list. We're still waiting for that list.
Okay.
So I had thought that as, you know, close to 300 people were slaughtered in the state, he would have released the list so that we know who they are and know how to, you know, talk to them and address them. But I think it was just part of the propaganda of, you know, making noise and nothing happens thereafter.
As we begin to wrap up, Justice Yusuf Salihu of the Federal High Court, you know, of the FCT High Court, yesterday admitted the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Gordon Emefiele, to bail in the sum of 2 billion naira in a fresh charge of property fraud. I mean, as regards that 753 duplexes.
Well,
your comment on that?
You know, the truth is, Emefiele is going through the darkest time of his life. And where they hold on tight. You know, they hold a match in head, they match in head, hold up for ground. But you see, when we do this selective justice, it simply shows that the government is not ready to fight corruption.
Okay.
Hadika Serikia, Hadika, you know, the man who scammed 200 million Nigerians with a national carrier, where is he? What has come of him? Better Edu, what has come of her? Okay. So if we say that it's more like this government is being vindictive about their dealings with Emefiele, we're not wrong about it.
Priscilla, I want to say thank you so much for coming around to, talk to Nigerians again.
I did, any day, anytime.
Thank you so much. All right, let's get to the phone line. 807 rather is the time. 807, and then let's hear from you quickly, okay? See, if you want to call, if you can use 30 seconds, I'll be very happy. 30 seconds, just say it. Don't call and want to mention almost everything. Pam, 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 you're done. So let's see how many calls we can take before we wrap up. And of course, we have messages, okay? Let's do that. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 081 717 56338. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. And good morning, the guest.
Yeah, good morning here.
Yeah, you have Larry from Ikeja.
Okay.
I think the greatest irresponsibility is being shown by Nigerian politicians. Look at what is happening in Benue and look at the endorsements in Northeast. And this same Northeast is facing the same problem that Benue is facing. And they are playing policy with the life of Nigerians. I think this APC government, they need to wake up. And the president visit, I don't think he have any meaning. The visits don't have any meaning. Let them change their strategy and make sure, look at 200 and thousands of people displaced. We should put ourselves in the shoe of these innocent people. Very unfortunate, my brother. It's very unfortunate that we are playing politics with the life of people.
Thank you. Yeah. 0700 903 903 903. I'll read your messages and, of course, take calls alongside. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Benjamin from Shogunle, good morning. The president finally agreed to travel to Benue State after the PDP statement. Or after the Pope's statement. Since president prefer listening to Pope than Nigerians that are being, Benjamin, thank you. Pascal Chimezie, you sent a message to, he said, I hope the president and all his service chiefs mobilizing to visit Benue State for sightseeing after the evil deed has been done and not merely grandstanding and for the optics. Are they really, really telling us that they did not have real-time intelligence of the deadly attacks before it happened? If they had, why did they allow it to happen? What is the guarantee that more attacks will not follow soon after their visit? President Tinubu should give the Nigerians assurance that no further attacks will ever be recorded in any part of Nigeria, Benue in particular. Pascal Chimezi sent that message. Hello, good morning here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Java State.
All right.
Good morning,
Good morning to you. Go ahead, please. Okay. Happy birthday to you, Ozo Chikwado MP from Igondo. Appreciate. I wish I could send you some gifts. I'll send you gold, frankincense, and. Okay. Good morning to you. First of all, I just expressed my disappointment with. Okay. Okay, let me read it. I want to read it. First of all, I just express my disappointment with all the media outlets in Nigeria, including your radio station. How can media houses rely on individuals to go to Benue before them? That is something CNN, BBC, or Al Jazeera will do. They would strive to be first, in the ground in Benue. However, today the media outfits in Nigeria are all propagandists All they seem to know how to do is to sit in their studio and criticize without evidence and spread confusion by shouting. They hate my tribe. Tunde from Ijegun. You want to respond to him? Because I have a lot to say to him.
I don't
right
know.
now.
I don't understand this person. You see, the problem a lot of people have, which they don't understand about the media, is that the media too, they're human beings. And, going to a volatile environment, do you have insurance for that journalist that is
Waiting BBC and Al Jazeera, they enjoy. We enjoy them for this country.
No, that is the
as
point.
Journalists.
No, that's exactly where I'm coming to. The reporters in Al
The
Jazeera
aides,
and CNN, they have insurance.
They have everything.
As in everything. So what do Nigerians have? So we need to...
Wait, you, Tunde, listen very carefully. Cambia.
Ignore him.
Yeah?
Ignore him.
Okay, I will. Okay, APC must leave politicking and face governance. They must do the following now. Start electoral reforms, approve state police, establish and equip forest guards, scrap, what do you call it? I lost that message. Okay, Osimwaje, thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Jude. You see, whoever doesn't want another person's business to thrive, one day his own will also crash. Tinubu mocked fellow candidates that their parties are sinking ship, but God is revising it for him. If he says he does not fear, let him drop his vice. Mr. T from Okota is saying that here. And then Chike from Akute is saying, good morning, Nikami Jude. Olukode of EFCC sounds like a broken cord every time he talks. He is always talking about Yahoo boys when there are larger fishes to fry. He can start with 39 billion ICC renovation jamboree. Finally, Israel should allow a two-state solution and stop its bullish attitude towards its neighbors. Else, Israelis will also suffer. The era of apartheid is outdated. Chike from Makute. And then, Franco Nero sent this message from the United States of America. It's quite lengthy though, but let's see if we can touch it a little. The primary responsibility of government, according to the Constitution, is the welfare and security of the citizens. The current APC-led government of over 10 years have failed woefully and have caused more pains, hardship, hunger, and multi-dimensional poverty among Nigerians. His Holiness, the Pope, spoke first about the killings in Benue, and he took video reporting by VDM and other top Nigerians speaking before the head of the government decided to talk about the heinous killings in Benue State. Meanwhile, the entire security infrastructure in Nigeria needs to be reconstructed. States, local governments, and various communities have to be incorporated into security in our dear nation and use of technology like drones and CCTV. Nigerians must wake up and begin to choose the best of us to rule the rest of us to get the best from us. May God help and heal our land. Frank O. Nero from the United States of America. Thank you so much. Because of my time, I am running already. From our associate to Ugo Chukwu, aka the General. I don't know why our government is surprised because of sabotage among our military. Since they are enrolling so-called repentant terrorists into our country or our military, Enugu State Governor should behave like a man by dealing with these killer headsmen until we free ourselves from politicizing insecurity in Nigeria. There will be no peace in this country. Thank you so much. OC Morale, I salute you gallantly. Yeah. I hope you're highly motivated for this beautiful morning. Please, sir, kindly help me to wish our gallant and handsome female radio presenter. Her birthday don't pass now since Sunday. But happy birthday to Esther Nwachukwu. That one on Sunday. Even if she no give me cake. Yeah. Overripe popo. Okay, good morning to you. As a matter of fact, when next God give Nigerians a good president, they will appreciate it. It's now we realize the enjoyment we're having during Jonathan's regime. May God help us. Mr. Chisom from Iyanukbaja. Okay, David Mark has just woken up from his slumber. Ever since these senseless killings started in Benue, he has not said anything. Also, Tinubu trying to visit Benue tomorrow is as a result of protests that was held by Benue youths few days ago. They are all after their selfish political ambition and not to serve the good people of the country. Thank you so much for that message. Good morning, VOP. Jude, visitation of the president to Benue State, does it change anything? Will that bring back the lost lives as government failed in their primary responsibilities, which is to save lives and property? This roof's incompetence of the sitting da. See why honesty from Misolo. Thank you so much. Let me take calls now. Don't worry, let me take calls. Let me leave messages because of my time. It's still plenty. It's like 5,000. But let me leave it there and take calls before I wrap things up. I'll just take 2 or 3 calls and we're done for today. Good morning here.
Jude, good morning.
Good morning.
Chinaka, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Obina, calling from Ejibo.
Okay.
I don't think we can get it right in this country. It seems that God have forgotten Africa. With this type of leaders we are having, I don't think we can get it right. Everything have fall apart. Things have fall apart too much. We can't get it right.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate you. Okay. I will end with this. Prince Chilaka. I will end with this message from Ezekiel. Ezekiel sent this from Egypt. Ezekiel is saying, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will handle economy. Shetima will handle or will take care of insecurity or security. This is one of the biggest scams. You can't fund the arsonist and call yourself the firefighter. Your comment on that, 30 seconds before we go.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it was one of the funniest campaign promises. And a lot of us who understand the way the presidential system works, we knew it was just a jamboree. It was just something to be able to say, oh, I have said something, but it wasn't going to work. And right from the day President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in, nobody heard anything about Shetima. Even up till now, we just hear once in a while he goes to attend one birthday party, attend one ceremony, and that is it. So it's normal. These are the things the politicians tell you when they're campaigning are far from reality of what happens when they get sworn in.
This thing called time, man. Time. Well. Thank you, Prince Chilaka.
Yeah,
appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. IKAMIJUDEH. IKAMIJUDEH. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm out of here. Good morning and have a beautiful day.
Please note, the views and opinions expressed